is going on, everybody? We are freaking back. Club Jaguar year 2. Going to be some better things this year for the YouTube channel, that's for sure, and just for Club Jaguar in general, because the Jaguars, I guarantee you guys have heard it here first. We will not start off 0-4 this year, okay? We're way too intangibly rich for that stuff. The ceiling is way too elevated. We've elevated the ceiling. We've elevated the floor. Everything's elevated by being nothing more than the podcasters that we are. And speaking of podcasters, we're going to bring everybody in. We'll go ahead and bring in Jordan Lugo from GenJag. What's up, Jordan?
What up, y'all? How we doing?
All is good, man. All is good. The chat is excited. But, of course, we also got to bring in Jason from Jaguars United. What up, Jason?
What's up, boys? Long time no talk. I am excited.
Yeah, but we are back. It's very exciting. I know we set the date for the first show about like a month or so ago. Wanted to get a little bit of a few weeks of training camp in, and right before the preseason actually began. But yeah, guys, add us to your weekly plans now. Look, we're live right here every single week at 8:30 p.m. on Wednesdays on both my channel and Jordan's channel. So you can find us there. You can find us on Twitter. It's being live streamed over there as well. So we're all over the place. We're here to take over the world. Okay, that's what we're doing. The Jaguars world, I guess I should say. But yeah, it's exciting. Jaguars have a couple of weeks of training camp kind of under our belts. Also have a preseason game on Saturday against the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. If you guys want to go to a preseason game, it'll be your only real opportunity on Saturday because it's the only home game. The Saints game and the Dolphins game are both away. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I guess, how do you even begin a show like this, right? I mean, there's so much to really talk about, but it's probably going to be a bunch of me and Jason asking Jordan DeLugo a bunch of questions on what he's been seeing. But I guess we'll start with an overall vibe check. We'll start with Jordan. How are you feeling about the team right now? Where is your optimism for this year? Is it maybe better or worse than you're expecting? How are you feeling right now?
Well, I'm very optimistic about our new look here on the channel, on the show. Brand new overlays. It looks beautiful. I'm fired up about that. So my question is, are you excited about football season? Because that means Club Jaguar is here? Are you excited about Club Jaguar because that means football season is here?
Hey, you know what I'm excited about? Since now Tony Baselli is in the front office, we pushing him and Pete Persco aside, and now we are becoming the top Jaguar show out here, okay? Nobody can mess with us.
When's John Gruden coming on staff? That's what I want to know. When's that announcement coming?
Ready for it.
Jordan, did you get to talk to him at all while at training camp? Or did you fanboy?
No. I'm not trying to have a lot of conversations during training camp.
Yeah.
Locked in.
You got to be zoned in on the play-by-play. I will say, me and John Gruden are actually peers because he follows me on Twitter. So we are one of the same. He probably knows me. If I was there, he would recognize me and
absolutely
and beg to come on the show, beg to get a spot on Club Jaguar. But there's only 2 other spots here, right? Not enough room for people like that.
What I'm excited about, I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but when I flip on ESPN or when I'm listening to national coverage, the Jaguars are coming up a lot now, a lot more than they used to. Even back when we made the playoff run, I don't know if it's Travis Hunter, I don't know if it's Liam Cohen, I don't know if it's the excitement of everything, but Jags have been in the national spotlight a lot more than I'm used to this time of year.
I think it's solely because of Travis Hunter, to be honest. I think we got a little bit of hype when Trevor Lawrence came here the first year. I think him and Urban Meyer sparked some hype, but I don't think we've really had any hype really since then.
Yeah, I think there was some hype when Doug got here. Certainly not to this level.
I don't think national hype, though. Do you think?
I think there was. Yeah, I think that there was a decent amount, at least from the people I pay attention to. The real football analysis folks. Yeah, Kara, my wife, she was all over it. She was like, "Oh, Doug Peterson's coming to town, 2017 Super Bowl champion."
What are your thoughts?
She knew all that.
Gap zone blocking scheme versus zone blocking scheme.
Yeah, Kara's on top of it. No, but it's Travis Hunter all the way up at the top from a media hype standpoint, fandom, all that stuff. Everybody's fired up. He's not just a football icon. He's like a Twitch streamer. He's got his YouTube channel. Obviously, he is a football icon, the football icon, maybe that's not a quarterback. When you look at winning the Heisman, playing both sides, everybody knows who this guy is. So, yeah, he is the main reason for the hype. But I think when you talk about football nerds and analysts, people are excited to see what Liam Cohen can do with Trevor Lawrence and what Trevor Lawrence can do in a Liam Cohen offense as well. And then you go one step deeper. I think people are excited about like how aggressive and interesting James Gladstone is as well. So there's layers to it, but it is absolutely Travis Hunter out there in front.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted, like, this is the question I've been wanting to ask Jordan all month.
And you can ask me too. I'll answer as well.
No, I'm good. I think I'm just going to stick with Jordan, actually. No, I'm just kidding. And the reason why it's for Jordan is because I'm hearing conflicting reports about how Trevor Lawrence has looked. I'm hearing from some people he's throwing dots all over the field. I'm hearing from some people he's throwing bad interceptions and making same old Trevor plays. I'm hearing from some people that he's like somewhere in the middle. Like, what's been your evaluation from watching Trevor? How has he looked in this new offense with these new weapons, a new offensive line, essentially? Like, how has he looked to you?
I think it's a layered question or layered answer. Honestly, to me, like overall, I think he's been very good. You look at the numbers that he's put up if you're tracking training camp numbers, which is really kind of silly to do, but it does give you some indication of the efficiency that he has been able to perform with so far. He's completing like 65% of his passes. And over the last week and a half, it's probably a lot closer to 70. And if you include the drops, it is probably definitely over 70. But 20 touchdown passes to 4 interceptions. I have not seen Trevor Lawrence in training camp have that few interceptions through 11 practices anytime in his career. I mean, he's a guy that pushes the limits in practice a lot, or has throughout his career. And I don't see that as much this year. I think there's a lot more easy button throws. He's taking those easy button throws. And there's a lot beyond just like the statistics and the impressive efficiency. There's a lot that he is working on. He's working on understanding the offense at a higher level. All the checks at the line of scrimmage. They call it cans, kill, change the play at the line of scrimmage. He's working on his footwork from the shotgun pre-snap, like having his left foot forward instead of his right foot forward. He's working on his footwork through each and every progression, trying to have his feet in a position to where his base has him in the right spot to release the football at any given time and get some heat on it. And then he's also working on just a lot of nuance with his play action dropbacks as well. So there's just so much that goes into it. And he's also working with 2 new receivers, right? So there's a lot that goes into it. I think he's shown progress throughout training camp. As I mentioned, like the last week and a half, I would say since last Sunday, he's been much better than he was the first few days of training camp. I thought the first few days very up and down. Since then, he's been pretty lights out. And I do think he will be better in a month in this offense than he is right now in this offense, because again, he is still working on so many new things. And I think in 3 months, he'll be better than he is right in 2 months, right? So he's still progressing. He's still got a long way to go, I think, to be like a master of this Liam Cohen offense that they're creating. But he looks better than he has in a while. And I think a lot of that just goes into the offense being more quarterback friendly, giving you more layups, giving you more easy buttons, and also having Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., and De'Ami Brown.
Yeah, and I agree with everything Jordan said based on Jordan's, Twitter feed. But I mean, on the real though, like, so how much different does this offense look, right? Because it should look a lot different. And how do you feel like the transition? Because I know there's going to be a lot more like motions and even like screens. Are there a lot of like false starts, or are there a lot of players maybe jump in from the false start standpoint on like the wide receiver side of things? Like when it comes to just how this offense is moving and flowing, do you think that everything's going decently well? I know usually defense is a little bit ahead of the offense, but brand new offense, and this offense should be a whole lot different than what we saw at Doug Peterson.
Yeah, it is a lot different. And there have been, a little bit more lately, I would say there's been more pre-snap penalties offensively than the team would like, or than you would like to see. It was very prevalent Friday night at the scrimmage. It's been a little bit too much in the last couple practices, and Liam Cohen said as much. He wants it to get cleaned up very quickly. The coaches are doing a good job communicating everything that needs to be done by these players. I think they'll get the job done, and they'll figure it out. And a lot of the penalties are also like not necessarily with the starting group. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But yeah, the offense is completely different. Like I said, there's more easy throws. There's more, the motion is not just motion for motion's sake. A lot of it is, we've talked about in the past, like the Jaguars would use motion to identify man or zone coverage, right? Now you're using motion for that purpose, but also to create leverage advantages, disadvantages for the defense. Also, you're almost using kind of that cheat motion where you're kind of on the borderline of if you're moving forward at the snap, like you're running horizontal, and then as soon as that ball snapped, you're already running 75% speed, and that gives you an advantage. You didn't have any motion at the snap last year in Jacksonville. The Buccaneers were one of the top teams in motion at the snap. They're one of the top teams in terms of screen utilization and screen efficiency. 17% of the Bucs dropbacks last year were screens. That is an unbelievably high amount, and they were really good at it. And then I think the run game should be improved just from a schematic standpoint, coaching standpoint. And so, yes, this is a much, much different offense. And Travis Hunter is a big part of that as well.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like with Trevor Lawrence, because he's, I guess, had some issues up to this year in his career when it comes to like reading and maybe diagnosing stuff on the field. And I think a big thing that's going to help you is being able to have pre-snap motion. You can really tell a lot by what a defense is doing when it comes to getting the guy in motion, and like does a cornerback follow them, or are they passing them off? Like, what's going on there? And also the Jaguars offensive line, there are question marks, and the screen game is an extension of the run game. And last year we learned that that Brian Thomas Jr. is pretty dang good on screens. You also have Travis Hunter, who should also be pretty good on screens. Even De'Ami Brown. Like, we have a lot of different pieces there, and I mean, hopefully things just things go a little bit better when it comes to. And I think they will, because we don't have a guy that's basically silent quitting and Doug Peterson out here. So I guess I'll ask Jason. Like, Jason, are you worried about the offensive line at all going into this year? I know they didn't, when you look back on it, no major upgrades really. You signed Patrick McCarry, who's not even like out there right now. Of course, Robert Hainsey is going to get the start at center. And you kind of have, two offensive tackles who I guess there's some differing opinions on. Like, how are you feeling overall about this offensive line?
As someone that's always talked bad about the offensive line, I kind of feel okay for like a couple of reasons. Like, the first reason being the reports coming out of camp are some of these guys are looking good that I wasn't really expecting to look good. Ezra Cleveland supposedly has been looking really good. Who's the other tackle that we signed?
Chuma Edoga.
Edoga, suppose, like, apparently looked amazing. I don't, how many times did we talk about at least try Anton Harrison at left tackle? And what does this regime do the second they get here? They try him at left tackle. Like, imagine that. Like, let's try that. And so I love seeing that. I loved on the drill this morning, Daniel Murphy talked about a private conversation that he had with Liam Cohen about watching old film. And Liam Cohen told him essentially they're running the wing T, just in a different formation, which I love, because that allows a lot of misdirection, a lot of play action, and it tells your linemen exactly what to do and who to block, which is, I think, going to be great for these guys. And then finally, there's just so much speed on the field. And with the play offensive calling that we know Cohen will do, Trevor will not have to hold on to the ball as long. So although I am not incredibly encouraged by the skill on the offensive line, I think all the things around it lead to this offense being able to work in spite of it, or just being able to elevate their play from where they're at, hopefully.
Jordan, we'll kick this back over to you. How are you feeling about the O-line?
Yeah, I think one thing you said was interesting. Trevor Lawrence not having to hold on to the ball as long. He wasn't holding on to the ball for a very long time last year, but he was still one of the highest average depth of target quarterbacks, which means the offense was just not making any sense. He's getting rid of the ball quickly, but he's trying to throw the ball deep down the field very consistently. That is not a recipe for an efficient offense. This year, you're going to see a lot of quick game, like you said, getting rid of the ball quickly, but it will be not nearly as consistently deep down the field. You'll be able to have quick game that's actually quick game, like actually getting rid of the ball quickly to short, efficient passes. And again, you have all these guys that have yak ability. Just look at the number of guys that have yak ability. I know this is an offensive line. I'll get to that in a second. But you have Brian Thomas Jr., yak ability, Travis Hunter, De'Ami Brown, Travis Etienne, Bashal Tutin, LeQuint Allen, Brenton Strange. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see the difference there. And then offensive line wise, nothing for me has really changed outside of the fact that I do think Chuma Edoga is a very good depth piece for them, like being their sixth man of the offensive line. I think he has proven to be a good addition in that regard. I feel good about Anton and Walker overall. I think going up against Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker every day is really preparing them for the rigors of an NFL season here as full-time starters. And then I feel like the interior of the offensive line could be better. I don't think it's going to be a group that sinks the team in most games, but I do think there's going to be times throughout the season where you're like, damn, that offensive line's not doing super well. Interior offensive line. Because there's just some dominant defensive fronts on the schedule, really well-coached defensive fronts. And I think that the best scenario for Ezra Cleveland, Robert Hainsey, and Patrick McCary is average, right? League average.
So do you think that there actually is a legit competition at right guard? Because I know Makari is out right now, so Chuma Edoga's kind of I don't even know how to say the last name. He's kind of stepping in there and doing some stuff. I mean, there have been a lot of reports saying that, people really like the way he looks out there, but I don't know if it's because he's going against not going against Eric Armstead, not going against Mason Smith. You don't think that there's any legit chance that pending injury that Edoga does start?
No, I mean, as long as McCary's healthy, that's his job, I think.
Yeah. Interesting.
What about
I don't know any reason why you would not be rolling with the guy you just paid $13.5 million, who has done nothing but play positively when on the field. Out of the interior offensive linemen, he's my favorite dude by far.
So are you concerned at all by, I feel like a bunch of guys are banged up right now. And the interior of the offensive line, of course, you have Makari. And then I don't know what the status of Bashal Tutin is. I know he's got a little bit of a hamstring. I don't know how much. I don't know. You think he's playing on Saturday?
Well, I'm not guaranteeing that, but I'm saying he is playing in team right now.
So he is playing team right now. So he's playing. Yeah. He's in on 11 on 11s.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know he was held out of the scrimmage on Saturday. I don't know how much they're trying to, or Friday. I don't know how much they're trying to prevent that injury, but I think because I want to transition to here because a lot of people are talking about like Eric Armstead. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't, and people are going to say we're going to make excuses for him. I'm not trying to make any excuses for him. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if at first someone brought up that like they think he's just getting veterans rest. Now he's got this like back thing going on. Like, I mean, do you have any insight on like what could possibly be going on here?
I think this is the most interesting situation in Jacksonville right now. That's not like an exciting and happy situation because Liam Cohen, since he has become the Jaguars head coach, has been very, very transparent with the media about so much, more transparent than I could even expect from a coach to be or hope for a coach to be at times. But he seems to not have an answer at all about what's going on with Eric Armstead and whether or not he'll be ready for the regular season opener. He said, I hope. He said that twice in a row, and it did not sound confident. So I don't think he really knows exactly what the deal is. And again, that's not a guy who woke up, Liam Cohen, and like having a bad day, just doesn't want to talk to the media. A couple minutes later, he broke down exactly what Travis Hunter is doing in the offense from a very specific personnel package and alignment. Like, it's not like he was just having a bad day and didn't want to talk about it. I really don't think he knows. And I don't think he can give a good answer because he doesn't know.
So do you believe when he said in that same interview that he's liking what he's seeing out of Devon Hamilton, or do you think he's like kind of okay? I like Devon Hamilton, and so I guess an additional question is what about Mason Smith? Anything on him? Because I have a question for you that I want you to answer that I'm going to save, but it kind of goes along with this a little bit. So, what about Devon Hamilton, Mason Smith, everyone else on that interior D line? What are your thoughts on that spot?
Yeah, Devon Hamilton's doing Devon Hamilton things. You know, he's a big guy. He can push the pocket. He can eat up blocks. He can stuff the run. He's doing things like that. He's mucking it up on the interior. But, you know, that's not exactly what you're looking for from Eric Armstead or Mason Smith necessarily. You want those guys to be able to get upfield and penetrate and disrupt. That's not Devon Hamilton's game. You sign Austin Johnson. That's also not his game. His game is more similar to Devon Hamilton's, which good. I'm happy to have him here. He's a good football player, a good rotational player. You have Tyler Lacey, who's basically a starter right now since there's no Eric Armstead, no Mason Smith healthy right now. So he's making some plays here and there, but I don't think you want Tyler Lacey as your starting tackle next to Devon Hamilton.
So,
honestly.
So I guess at this point, like, yeah, I'll let you finish.
I think Mason is close. I'm not allowed to really speculate, so I can't put a timetable on it, but like the way he moves out there, he looks like he's good to go to me. I think they're playing it safe and cautious, and they said as much. Like first week of camp, Liam Cohn said, you know, if there was a game this weekend that was an important game, would he be able to play? Maybe. So I think he's closer than Eric. He's moving well, but he's missing out on valuable reps right now. He absolutely is. And I would like to see him out there, you know, for at least a couple weeks before the regular season starts.
So and this is a question for both of y'all, what position group or position outside of D tackle worries you the most? Or do you not have the most confidence in as of right now? Obviously, outside of D tackle, I think that'd be the easy answer. So outside of that spot, what has you the least confident? You want to see some dynamic play from this position group sooner than later?
Yeah, I mean, I would say for me, interior offensive line. I think Walker Little will have a big year. I like Walker Little. I think that when Walker Little is given an opportunity at his natural position, he's always done good. It's just he's always looking over his shoulder at, you know, when is Cam Robinson going to come back from his injury, or when is he going to come back from his violation of whatever drug he was on, right? So I think Anton Harrison, once he gets back, like I guess there was maybe a motivation issue last year. I think that they did a lot to push him this year, and you know, even Liam Cohn has called him out in, you know, press conferences saying like, oh, when Anton Harrison wants to be good, he can be good. Hopefully they push them to the point where he will be a great right tackle. So I think if injury holds these guys up, I think we're good on that spot. I just think interior is a little bit of a question mark because, I mean, you basically went out there and, you know, grabbed Robert Hainsey. And of course, the Buccaneers drafted a first round center. So of course you kind of went and backed him up, but you didn't go out and splash a bunch of money. You kind of went out there and spent money on kind of enough money to where a guy can be inserted into a starting spot. But, you know, the Jaguars don't really have, I'm glad they drafted Wyatt Milam. The Jaguars haven't done enough. And this is one big fault about Balky was his time as a GM. He never really drafted like the next player to go in there at interior offensive line. Of course, Cooper Hodges had his thing where, you know, he dealt with a lot of injuries, and, you know, Luke Fortner was just a big miss, right? So I'm glad we got Milan, but I think overall the interior of the offensive line does worry me just because we're a team that I think needs to do a lot better in the run game. I thought last year the pass protection was good enough. Of course, I thought it started off really shaky, but then they did start to protect Trevor a little bit, and then Trevor did start to get comfortable back there when it comes to like slinging the rock and actually protecting them. But being bottom quarter of the NFL in the running game last year was just bad. When it was 3rd and 1, the Jaguars needed a yard, they couldn't get it. 4th and 1, needed a yard, they couldn't get it. So, I think a lot of that has to do with the interior of the offensive line not being able to push. And there's a lot of really good defensive tackles out there, right? So I think for me, it's got to be the interior of the offensive line.
Yeah, I would agree completely on the interior of the offensive line. There's a lot of games I think they're going to get you by. There's going to be some games where I'm worried, and some of those games are in the division. You got to deal with Jeffrey Simmons and Tavondre Sweat. You got to deal with DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart. You got to deal with the Texans, who have, not on paper the most dominant interior defensive line, but a line that will play a lot of games up front and beat you schematically, and also has the great edge players. That's just in the division. So yeah, that's a concern, but I'm also very concerned about the safety group. That's not to say they have not played bad in camp. I talked about this the last couple of days quite a bit. I think that this group with the Jaguars at safety and even nickel, and I really like Jordan Lewis, who's been making a ton of plays. They can't run. Like, they're all like 30-year-old dudes who just aren't as fast as some of these elite wide receivers and tight ends and backs that they're going to be tasked with covering. I think the plan is you don't want them trying to chase one-on-one deep down the field any of these elite athletes in the NFL. You want to build a roof over the offense, and you want, if you're going to be targeting deep down the field, it's going to be in between tight windows between the corners and the safeties and the nickel and the safety, things of that nature. But there's a lot of really good offensive coordinators in this league, play callers that are going to do their best to put you in a disadvantage from a coverage standpoint. And there's going to be times where Andrew Wingard, Eric Murray, Jordan Lewis have to stick with an elite athlete down the field. And I think that that's going to be a problem. Now, when they're, eyes in the backfield and ball vision, they're in a good spot because they're all smart, instinctive. They're good at football. They're just not the best athletes, right? So that's my concern.
So and mine's tackle. I'm not going to go on about it. I don't trust our tackles. And when we inevitably get into 3rd and long, that's the position that's going to be make or break for Trevor, for me. And we haven't seen, and maybe they will be consistent. Maybe they'll be good. I just haven't seen it, especially with Anton's a bit of regression last year. Walker Little being an unknown. I'm a little worried about tackle, but we do have depth there. I'm not going to go on that, but just to put an end cap on this, linebacker is not an issue for either one of you at all.
I feel good. I think if Devin struggles, they will not be hesitant to make a move, and I think they have guys that they can feel comfortable with behind him.
And for me, Devin is always a little bit of a question mark. One thing I do like this year is that we don't have Ryan Nielsen, who's going to be subbing out Foye Oluokun. Never understood that. Like, you got the NFL leading tackler over here and you're taking him out. You got a guy that helps line up the whole entire defense and you take him out. Like, I think he elevates the group. And of course, we'll see if anybody else gets any play. Of course, Jack Kaiser was a decently high pick. What was he? 4th round pick. I know the coaches like him,
right? Kaiser's looked pretty good, apparently.
Yeah, he's been a little up and down, as you would expect for a rookie. But he's made some good plays.
28-year-old rookie or 38-year-old rookie or whatever he is.
I mean, I like that they're
Ventrell makes plays, Muma makes plays. So
and I like to hear that, like, Devin Lloyd is getting pressure on the quarterback, right? I mean, he had this skill set that he had from Utah, and we never really tried him in it, So I think that'll be fun. I know, man, people really in the national media, like especially Pete Prisco, they speak very, very highly of Anthony Campanelli. Like, he's going to actually be potentially a head coach one day. So the coaching,
people said the same thing about Nielsen.
Oof.
And they are not the same guys.
That was just a miss. we
were not the same guys.
People were so hype about Nielsen, one of the most hype coordinators we brought in here. And man, that was, I don't know what version we got, because I don't think that was the same guy as Atlanta.
Yeah. So I believe in Anthony Campanile, but it's fair to say it is still, there's no proof of concept yet.
And to the guy who says, do they read chat? Yes, I read chat. Where do you think I get all my information from? You think I make it up? I just take it all from you all. So yes, we read chat. But how about the position group outside of wide receiver that you're most excited about? Okay, so obviously Travis Hunter, BTJ, De'Ami Brown, Parker being your fourth. Not bad. Outside of wide receiver, what position group are you most excited about?
Yeah, I'll start. I think I think I got two answers. I think cornerback.
Oh, nice.
I
Cool.
think cornerback is going to be really cool because, man, you have four guys at cornerback that are kind of starting caliber players, right? With Tyson Campbell, Jordan Lewis has been making a bunch of plays. Jarian Jones really looks good, and of course you have Travis Hunter. And with that, I almost wonder, with the safety group being a little bit maybe not as good as we hope. There's a lot of guys that are versatile, right? All over the field. You have we drafted interior linemen that have played tackles before. We've drafted, a cornerback that's going to be playing at safety. Like there's a lot of versatility. So I almost wonder, like, if the safety group is hurting a little bit, if they try to do a little bit more, get a fourth cornerback on the field and, try to help out there. I don't know. But I think cornerback is going to be exciting for me, especially with how weak it was last year. I think one thing I'm really intrigued by is running back, though, because like I think going into this year, the Jaguars were really trying to improve the running back position. I mean, I think if they stayed at 5, Ginty would have been a pick. And on day 2, the Jaguars were really wanting to get RJ Harvey, and they missed out on him. So with the group that they had, the Jaguars GM and coaching staff, they all thought that they had a lot of room to upgrade. But then they went out there and drafted Bashal Tootin in round 4 and LaQuint Allen in round 7. And even, there's an undrafted free agent, I think last name Jackson,
Jaquindon
Jackson that the coaching staff really likes too. So I think running back is my most exciting position to look at in preseason because those bottom 3 guys are going to get a lot of work. So that's kind of my answer to that.
You want to go through all the position groups, Dalton, while you're at it? You want to just go through and talk about every position group while you're?
I talked about two.
How
you
can
want to go back to linebackers?
Trent Baalke's not on this show. Sorry, Dalton. Edge.
Oh, good answer. Good answer.
It's edge.
Yeah.
That is the best group on the team. The best group on the team.
Wow.
Bar none.
Who's the third best edge rusher on this team?
Agba and Smoot are tied.
Wow.
And what I'm excited about is third down packages, heat up the quarterback. Who knows if you have Eric Armstead? Who knows if you have Mason Smith? Agba and Smoot can both rush from the interior. So can Trayvon. So you get those 4 out there. Good luck to an offensive line. And Josh Hines Allen.
Eric Armstead can too, right?
That's what maybe he's out there. I mean, Mason Smith too, if he's out there. But those 4 can heat it up. And they now have a legitimate rotation. Agba and Smoot can also be dirty work guys that can free up Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker as well to get advantageous one-on-ones. And so I think they're in the best situation that they have been since 2022 with the edge rushers very easily. And I think that Josh and Trayvon are playing as well as I have ever seen them play in training camp.
Yeah, and that's one thing that was just really questionable the last couple of years with Baalke. It's like we lose Arden Key, so it's like, okay, the Jaguars need to sign another edge rusher, and they just never do. So it's like, okay, that was a big mistake. 2024, he can't not sign another edge rusher, right? And they went and got that, a Trevis Gibson, and they trade him after the 53-man roster cut. So it's like, once again, you don't have another guy that's going to come in there and get sacked. It was a little bit ridiculous, but I don't know. Yeah, edge should be pretty exciting. That's your favorite. That's your most exciting one too, Jason.
Yeah, and Eric did point out, the punter and the kicker. They are.
I was about to say, how is it not the leading point scorer for this coming up year, Cam Little?
The long snapper.
I'm worried about kickers. Worry me because you can have an amazing year one year and be totally terrible the next year. Kicker is a funny position. Man,
the good news is he is doing well in camp.
Okay,
so at least you're on track But yes, it is a fickle. It's like a golfer, you know.
It's true.
I mean,
That's
a
good
lot of
comparison.
it, a lot of it really goes along with like how their personal life is going. I mean,
That's true.
it's very true. I mean, Josh Lambo looked like was in a mess. Justin Tucker, whatever's going on with him, won't get into that. What about our boy who was on the Commanders? Who was
Brandon
kicking
McManus?
for us that year? Yeah,
Yeah.
McManus.
Brandon
He
McManus?
was
The
he was,
virtuous man that is Brandon McManus?
yeah. That's I mean, it kind of seems to go hand in hand with that. But I mean, look, he was in the Prowler preview today. He's got a lot of confidence to him. That's what I love about Cam Little, and I think hopefully we'll have a good kick for a while. But yeah, they worry me too because man, they could be so electric, and all of a sudden they're missing their kicks, and I mean you can't just have them as a backup, right? You got to kind of go out and sign another kicker if they're not doing well. So
I think the golfer analogy from Jordan was perfect because if you
Yeah.
follow golf at all, I mean, when you're rolling, and when you're not, it's ugly. So,
Yeah.
hopefully, Cam Little, he seems like he's got some good years ahead of him.
I
Yeah,
mean,
let's hope.
the one thing you can say is just talent-wise, he's got it. Like, it's not like he was just accurate because he only kicked short field goals last year. He's dynamite from 50 plus.
No, it's fun.
As
He's a
is-
small guy too.
As is every kicker in the NFL nowadays, to be fair. But
Go look at the percentages from last year. He was at the top.
okay,
Pull them up, Jason. Pull them up.
yeah,
I'm gonna
no,
challenge you.
I'm good. I trust Jordan about some things. This thing
By
I
the way,
trust him on.
Couple of super chats here. We have one from BG4X in honor of hashtag Club Jaguar. Go Jags! Pumped up for 2025. I think we all are. We were cheated out of 2024. We're gonna get a better year this year. That dude Evan, member for 40 months, says these are three intangibly rich fellas. That's what's up.
That's true.
And we also have Real Man CT, Real Man Connecticut.
Rail Man.
maybe?
Rail
Rail
Man.
Man?
Where'd you go to
Oh,
school?
Real Man. Dude, I don't have my glasses. My glasses are down here, okay? I'm trying to squint to see the TV or the screen. But yeah, Rail Man says just become a new member. So shout out to him. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm monitoring chat. If you guys want to have any questions, just throw them in here. I'll try to get to them. But I mean, there's just a lot of intangibly rich insight over here. It's just sometimes it's hard to read them off. So
I actually have some hilarious kicker things to say here. So Cam Little was 6th in the NFL in field goal percentage last year. He was at 93.1. The highest kicker was at 95.5. So Cam Little at 6. Chase McLaughlin, former Jaguar, at 3. Tied with him at 3. Former Jaguar Matthew Wright. And guess who was sitting in that 2 spot?
Jason Myers.
Brandon McManus.
Ooh. He was actually good last year. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was kicking for the Packers and he got his head right. And,
say what you want about Trent Baalke. That man can identify kickers. Okay. Say what you want.
Now,
don't call him bad at picking kickers.
So I will say 50 plus yards wise, Little was also up there at the top. Couple guys were perfect, but only a few kickers had like significantly more attempts than him from 50 plus. I think with a better offense, you're going to see more attempts as well. Just being in position to kick the field goal more.
Hopefully less field goals, right?
Well, they weren't let's see here.
No more red zone field goals. No more red zone field goals.
Surprise me that he didn't have a lot of attempts. That does not surprise me in the least.
He was 13th in total field goal attempts last year. In terms of field goal attempts inside the 30, he was 8th. So those are the ones you don't want, right?
That's a bad stat. That's a bad stat.
Those are the ones you don't want.
You don't want field goals within
the
the 30.
ones inside of 40 either, and he was up there in that one too. So you want to get points when you're that close.
Yeah. So a couple more super chats. Tekken's throwing some money around like he's in a club. So he says, I got 4 questions. LOL. I'll hyper you about Tootin. I wanted Scattaboo, and people say he's slow, but he had around the same 40 as Jerome Bettis and Terrell Davis. So are you hey Jordan, you've been at training camp. Are you hype about Tootin?
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, you can't teach speed. He's got it. He's got contact balance. He's low to the ground, difficult to see. small strike zone, hold on to the football, and he's going to be dynamite.
All right. You heard it here first from the words of Jordan. Also, Tekken said, hold on. He says, considering the drama with Travis's girlfriend and people monitoring her actions, should we be concerned about her in case the relationship ends sour? Ooh, TMZ up in here, or TLC, I should say. Jordan, are you worried about the Travis's girlfriend drama?
No.
Jason, you got any insight here?
Absolutely not. I mean, Tom Brady won a Super Bowl after his drama, so maybe this will have a reverse effect. Maybe.
That's true. So Biggs 904, he says, we up in the club. Glad to see you guys on Saturday night. Thank you, man. Thank you. So we got another one. Should we be worried about Jarian playing outside? Yeah, that is a good question. So with Jarian Jones, has he been exclusively playing outside? Has he been playing a lot of zone? What's kind of been his role? How have you been? Because he's kind of like a weird, almost like an odd man out, it feels like right now, because we all know Tyson Campbell's one starter. You know, we know Jordan is what's his last name? Lewis, yeah. I knew it was something like that. Jordan Lewis is playing in a slot, but it's like on the outside, is it going to be it's going to be Travis Hunter? Is Jarian Jones getting a lot of play? Like what's his role right now in this defense?
I mean, right now he's the starting outside cornerback opposite Tyson Campbell. I don't think he's the odd man out. I do think it's going to be when Buster Brown comes back, what happens? When will Buster Brown be able to come back? You know, he's out for training camp. Does that mean he's going to start the season on the reserve /PUP? We'll see there. But I've always thought that Jarian Jones should be ahead of Buster Brown anyways. I think he's a much more talented football player, much more aggressive, athletic, better ball skills, just higher ceiling player. So I think he's in a spot where he's going to get reps, and a lot of it's just going to hinge on how much they feel they can get Travis Hunter out there on defense without taking away from what they're trying to do offensively.
Yeah, interesting. And
I'm not worried about him playing outside at all. I think he's really good outside. He's a good corner. He's a great athlete. He's instinctive. He's smart. He wants the smoke.
Yeah, and I'm really interested week one to see what the snap counts look like for each of these guys, because you know, once the lights come on week one, then we're gonna see the real colors. And I'm fascinated by the cornerback position. Like I said earlier, I think we really upgraded from from last year into this year. I'm hoping that Tyson Campbell can stay healthy. I mean, he's starting to really get that injury bug label. I mean, he got injured week one last year. Didn't he get injured the very first game? So it's been kind of a rough go at it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Caesar. He says, "Sup, fellas? How do y'all feel about the Washington Commanders?" Very good.
Yep.
Lots of good insight here.
I'm not. They're losing all their receivers. They lost Johnny Brown. Terry McLaurin requested a trade. They got Deebo Samuel. That dude's slow.
They got to sign Terry. If they sign Terry, they're fine. If not, who knows?
Lately, these players holdouts are turning into contract extensions. Like I feel like there was a point where a bunch of these players would do this and they get traded. I mean, lately everybody that's been sitting out has been getting signed, but I don't know. I always worry with these teams that, like Commanders really feel like they've like made it. They're here. These teams that have just done it once. It's like, okay, you guys don't have. It takes a few years to really build the culture that you need to come back and really show that you're here every day, because we've seen it with the Jaguars, right?
What I love about what they did this offseason is they said our offensive line's not good enough. And they went and they traded for Laramie Tunsil, and they went and they drafted Josh Connerly in the first round. So in my mind, they're doing what they need to do to try to make sure that the bottom doesn't fall out outside of the Terry McLaurin situation, which hopefully that gets resolved. I think it's awesome seeing Jaden Daniels throw the football to Terry McLaurin. So
what if they change back to the Washington Redskins? Are they still going to be as good? What are your thoughts on that, Jordan?
I have no comment on that.
Okay.
Washington football team. We'll move on. Club commander is over. That actually has a ring to a club commander, but that's not what we are. Taking with another one. Will we see red against Al-Shaair in week 3? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The only one that actually went after him was Evan Ingram. no longer on the Jaguars anymore, but I don't know.
BTJ was in there, and
Jorian
Brandon
Jones.
Sheriff was in there. He's on the team anymore, but
Hey, he might be in the stands. He hasn't been signed yet, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta stick up for their quarterback. I think that Liam Cohen is a smart coach, and I think that there will be discussions about what happened last year before that game.
Someone says the Washington Commandskins. That's not bad. But
doesn't sound right. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, something sounds a little off there. But I guess this Saturday, I mean, Jaguars' first preseason game. I know the Steelers, I highly doubt they're playing any starters. Tomlin doesn't usually play stars week 1 of the preseason. I think they've earned the right to not have to play week 1 of the preseason. But the Jaguars, on the other hand, Liam Cohen hasn't confirmed anybody's going to be playing. But, I mean, I've got to think that, I mean, at least a drive or two, right? I mean, I'd like the Jaguars to have starters play every preseason game, even if it's just for one drive. I'd like them to go through the process of going out there, warming up, getting prepared like they're actually playing a game. Because, I mean, everything's new regime. And also, you only had 4 wins last year. So I don't think we have the luxury to not play. So I guess
3
Jordan,
the preseason wins.
That's true. We did.
Can't take away the preseason wins.
And Gladstone comes from the Rams, who never play their starters in preseason ever, like at all, like 0 snaps. So I wonder if that'll have any trickle down to what the Jags do.
Well, I mean, he's also on the Jags right now, who have had no success the last few years, or maybe
true.
2022. But
True.
I wonder if Sean McVay. Yeah, go ahead, Jordan.
Liam Cohen has talked about this. They've been really. It's one of the hardest decisions he's having to make right now because he wants to get the guys out there. He wants them to have those in-game moments, but you also have to balance the injury thing. He coached under Sean McVay in LA and was a part of that, not playing in the preseason, not only the starters, but a lot of the twos as well. And then he also last year was with the Bucs, and they did play some starters at times in the preseason. So he's really wrestling with that. He had a phone call with Mike Tomlin yesterday, and we will hear from Liam Cohen tomorrow after practice. I imagine there should be some more clarity as to the plan heading into Saturday night after we hear from Liam Cohen tomorrow.
And I wonder with this, like, if this is a full-on Liam Cohen decision. Like, I wonder how much he needs to consult with Tony Boselli on this. I don't think Tony Boselli is going to be the guy to really try to micromanage the situation. But I know, like, just from knowing Tony Boselli on radio, like, we all kind of know his personality. I mean, he's a guy that he's going to want the Jaguars to be out there playing on Saturday night, just knowing him.
Yeah, I think it's much different when you're actually part of the organization. You can talk however you want when you're on the radio. I think it's going to be a collaborative decision, and I think pretty much everything they do is a collaborative decision. I really think that. I think ultimately it will come down to Liam Cohen making that decision, though. I think that he will take the input of everyone, but I think it's the coach's call.
Interesting. Jason,
and I also think the conversation with Mike Tomlin is going to have an impact on it, potentially.
Yeah, but we know, I don't think Tomlin's going to play starters.
I doubt Aaron Rodgers is going to play. So, I mean,
well, definitely not Aaron Rodgers. And they have so many veterans. They have Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, I mean, TJ Watt. Like, I mean, they're a team that they've been in the playoffs. I mean, they always have winning records, right? I mean, they're a veteran.
Rodgers has never played with Metcalf. He's never played in this offense. He's not going to play. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, he's not going to play.
It'll be very interesting.
I can see one drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I wonder if it's a part of Rodgers' agreement. I'm not playing in a preseason. Trying to.
I don't have a take just because I don't think there's really anything to base off what we're going to see from the Jaguars in week 1.
Yeah.
Preseason week 1.
Yeah. I mean,
will you be there is the question.
No.
Will you be there?
No.
Neither will I. Jason, will you be there?
Absolutely, dude. There's not a home game in the bank I'm not at. All right. Thank you very much. So I will be there. I don't care if I'm rooting on some dude we don't know who they are. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be out there cheering on the team.
I just honestly find it a lot easier to analyze the game from home. And I do the show right after the game. So That's honestly why I'm at home for most of the games.
So, Jason, where can all 643 people watching this find you at the game on Saturday night?
I would look in the general direction of the it's kind of like the bud zone area, beverage serving area. That's where the TV's like 3-second delayed. That's where I'd look for me if you were looking for me. I'd probably be around there somewhere. Maybe the little tents that sell a little bit more than beer. Maybe, just maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, probably around there somewhere.
Yeah, and the best time to approach Jason is maybe middle of the second quarter. No, he'll probably buy you your drinks that
Or
night. So.
in the parking lot tailgate. I'm real friendly in the tailgate, real friendly. So
yeah, I can only imagine. So I guess with this game, are you expecting starters, Jason?
No, I'm not. One drive by the offense, nothing by the one drive offense Jags, one drive defense Jags, nothing from the Steelers. That's what I'm expecting. If it's more, cool.
Any Travis Hunter? You think any Travis Hunter?
Oh, yeah. I think Travis Hunter will play. I think he'll play probably a series on offense and a series on defense.
Wow, that'll be exciting. Throw his way, Mason Rudolph. Didn't Jaguars go? Was Mason Rudolph the starter for both games last year? Or was Will Levis one of them? I don't know.
Don't remember.
It was pretty awful. It was pretty awful last year that Mason Rudolph. I mean, he could whatever. I won't go on about it, but
you know about Mason Rudolph? Come on.
Mason Rudolph was just awful last year. Awful quarterback, but he's back with the Steelers. Maybe better things to come.
From what I've heard, it will be a lot of Will Howard.
Will Howard's injured
Saturday night.
Will Howard's injured.
Is he?
Yeah, he's I think he's out for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, then it won't be.
Like I think
Rudolph and Thompson to the rescue.
I think they have Skylar Thompson. Oh yeah, it says Will Howard, Steelers quarterback, hurts hand, expected to miss at least 3 weeks. Which
all right, no Will Howard.
I would rather see Will Howard. I like to see rookies play. That's one thing about the preseason I like the most. I like seeing the rookies play.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's whatever. So what do you guys think? Big news today. Jaguars will be wearing 4 games of throwbacks this year. Jaguars might wear the throwback teals more than their primary teals. So, Jason, what were your thoughts when you saw the announcement? And also the game schedule. Looks like it's going to be all 3 AFC South games at home and the Chiefs on Monday Night Football.
I love the Monday Night Football Prowler jerseys because the whole world gets to see. That's going to be exciting. Yeah, I mean, obviously they're much better jerseys, so I'm excited for that. Not a superstitious guy because then I could never wear anything ever being a Jags fan. But yeah, excited to see the Prowlers. Travis Hunter looks good in the Prowler, so I'm excited.
How about you, Jordan? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's great. Obviously, Monday Night Football, if you get a win in those Prowlers on Monday Night Football, this city's going to burn down. It's going to be unbelievable against the Kansas City Chiefs. But I'm very cool with it being against divisional opponents because you want to have some swag going up against your divisional opponents, get those wins at home. So I'm good with it.
But I better question for y'all. What would be your reaction? What was the first thing you would do? Jags roll out on a home game, mustard jerseys. What are you doing? What are you doing if they roll out in mustard jerseys? First thing you're doing.
No announcement. They just roll them
No
out.
announcement. Just roll out in mustard. What was
we had the two-tone helmets too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Full thing.
Thank God that's not possible.
Well, I would be excited if they were over the white jerseys. I hate the white jerseys. No personality. Bring out the mustards over those.
I thought the mustard jerseys got a bad rap, and I know I'm in the minority here. I get it, but I thought they were unique. I thought they were cool.
Did y'all ever see the I don't think they ever wore them. I know they didn't, but they had made kind of mustard colored Prowlers back in the day. It was the gold Prowler.
And with the Jaguar printed helmet, or was that a different?
No, I'm just talking about the jersey.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw
it. People have those jerseys.
No, the thing is because I'm a UCF guy, and I know there's a lot of controversy over gold jerseys, right? Because it's really hard to nail a goldish yellow jersey because it has to be the perfect shade. And also another thing about the mustards is they turn by the second half, they turn into a 2-tone mustard because it showed all the sweat stains. It's funny. It's funny for a game or two. I think it's funny. The question is, once the Jaguars turn the Prowlers into like the primary uniforms, which I believe at some point they'll do like a modernized Prowler look, then they'll have an opportunity to do another type of alternate jersey. And I'm thinking we should throw back to the two-tone helmets.
Thank you. I thought those were cool. I did.
It's over.
I didn't like him that much.
No
I didn't like him that much. But I think it's
one of these old school guys. Oh, I like the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. It's just traditional and old school. Get out of here, dude. I want something new. I want something fresh. Let's go. Like, give me two-tone. Give me mustard jerseys. Not all season. They're there for one game. Give us something to talk about. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I don't think they're ever coming back. The question is, like, when the Jaguars, because I do think, like I said, there's going to be a modernized look, like what they'll do for an alternate jersey. Because now the NFL is going wild with alternate jerseys, right? Like, you have
It'll be the black one.
You have teams like the Rams going, oh yeah, they'll do the black ones, which will be pretty awesome. But you have everybody's doing black jerseys now. I mean, the Rams are doing it, which just looks
we
weird.
were doing it before a lot of folks.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, our color scheme makes it look so good.
The black?
Yeah, I mean, black and teal.
Bro, look at that. Look at this background. Look at
gold,
that. Dude, nothing
gold,
beats that, dude. Are you kidding me? That's one of the greatest jerseys of all time right there.
I saw some going out on Twitter where people were photoshopping Travis Hunter's jersey to like black. And it was pretty badass. It's a good look.
Yeah. Yeah, the all blacks were so sick back in the day.
And I think it'll give another edge. I mean, haven't beat the Texans at home since 2017. Got to break that. We get an early shot at them. And then the Chiefs. I mean, playing that, I was scared when the schedule came out. Chiefs on Monday Night Football, just historically that seems like a recipe for disaster. The Jaguars have lost like 8 or 9 straight against the Chiefs. One of the longest streaks going in the NFL. And just the way the last few primetime games have gone, it scares me. But of course, new regime, new blood in here. So hopefully times will change for the better.
Yeah, that's the plan, right?
Yeah.
That is the plan. But yeah, obviously playing the Chiefs is pretty alarming. But they're humans too, right? They're very difficult to beat. But I think Liam Cohen, from a schematic standpoint, is going to have some answers for Chris Jones, which certainly the last regime did not whenever the Jags played the Chiefs. And just being able to get the ball out quickly into advantageous situations. It's going to be a tough game, though, no matter what.
And the Chiefs in a regular season are usually asleep for 3.5 quarters, and then they somehow turn it on, and they somehow go like 16-1 in the regular season without even looking like they're trying. So
yeah,
maybe you have the 12th man wearing the zebra shirts, it makes it a little tougher too, but it can be done.
You know what's actually really funny about that? Because like the Bills fans and the Ravens fans are the ones that complain about that the most, but like both of those teams had way more advantageous penalties last year.
No, it's not about the amount. It's about the timeliness of them. It's about a game-changing 3rd and long where the defense gets a stop and the Chiefs somehow a flag gets thrown and it's defensive holding, automatic first down. It's the timeliness. It's not the number. Like, the refs aren't that dumb, okay? The NFL's not that dumb. They know they can't throw a bunch of flags. They have to be timed correctly, which they have a knack for doing.
All right, so collusion on the NFL and the Chiefs.
Or they had to call them down when they get a defensive strip.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But
collusion.
We can't have the Jaguars in the Super Bowl.
They don't want to see us up. They don't want to see us win. They don't. That's okay. No. This year we're going to. This year is different. We got
this year is different. Yeah. We
got Travis Hunter. So
yeah, we have Travis Hunter. We don't have Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke and Press Taylor and Ryan Nielsen. We don't have all that. Okay. All of it's out of the building. New fresh hope. It's going to be awesome.
And I really strongly believe in Campanile. I want to say that. I want people to know that. I think he's going to be awesome. I think he's going to be so good. I just also have to say, like, we have to see it. We do have to see it, but I'm in.
And we have to have the personnel.
And
that's as good as you want as a D coordinator. You know, the personnel doesn't matter. So I think we have it, but
I think they brought in, and like I said, that safety personnel worries me in specific situations, but I think they brought in guys that they know can execute what they're trying to do more often than not.
Yeah, and I think my approach to the season is that, we've had a lot of emotions as Jags fans, right? We get really high after we have a really good year, and then that excitement just turns into a bunch of disappointment. So now I'm really excited for the season. I really am, but I'm also not trying to like, oh my God, Trevor Lawrence had a great day at training camp. We're back. You know what I mean? Like I try to temper some of the excitement in that way. I think really sky's the limit. I think the AFC South is extremely winnable. The Texans are a great team. I still think they have flaws. And that's, I think, really the Jaguars and the Texans are the only thing standing in the Jaguars' way, right? And then once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen, right? I wouldn't be as optimistic about going to the playoffs if we were in the AFC West or AFC North or AFC East. Like, we're in the AFC South. Like, I think the Titans are going to be bad. I think the Colts aren't going to be good either. And yeah, I think the Texans are a good team. I don't think that they're in that next tier with the top three, with the Ravens, Bills, and Chiefs. So I think it's absolutely winnable. And
I think they could be. I know that's not a popular opinion. I think they could also. I think there's a wide variance in how that offense performs this year with the offensive line.
I think they had one goal. They had one job, is to fix the offensive line, and I don't think they did it at all. I mean, Cam Robinson is their starting left tackle.
Right, but did they fix not just the personnel, but the coaching part of it? That's the question.
Yeah,
that is the question. Because they got rid of their offensive coordinator. They brought in Nick Caley, passing game coordinator from the Rams. You see a lot of these guys that come from that system do really well and do it without having elite offensive lines, right? So we'll see. I still have the Texans in first and the Jags in second, but both making the playoffs right now.
I saw that Jaguar 7th seed.
I think it can be close.
Yeah.
But I also think that they have the coaching, culture, quarterback, a lot of the rest pieces in place to be very, very dangerous.
Yeah. It's exciting. But all right, guys, I think that'll do it for the first episode of Club Jaguar 2025 season. It's been a lot of fun. Like we said earlier, guys, this is a weekly show every single Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. So definitely add this to your weekly schedule. It should hopefully be a fun year. No matter what, we'll be here, right? Whether we're 0-4, 4-13, we'll always be here for you guys if you guys are here for us. So with that said, we'll go around. Jason, appreciate you joining the show. You got any shows coming up yourself?
Hopefully. That's the plan. We'll see what happens.
Just
Friday night
on.
I mean, it is what it is. You guys know the plan is to be Tuesday nights regularly. So I do some Fridays as well. So pencil that in.
Yeah, but you're not committing to Fridays right now.
Okay, I don't commit to anything. Okay, let's get that
That's
right
very
out
true.
the gate.
Well, you have a cat. You can't say you don't commit to anything.
But so I will try my best to Tuesdays and Fridays. But in the meantime, I will be watching Jordan. So
yeah, Jordan,
yes,
perfect.
See that
transition to you.
I'm a pro, boys. I'm a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just training camp tomorrow, last day before preseason week 1, which is exciting. Again, I think that we'll probably find out more information tomorrow about playing time, starters, etc. against Pittsburgh from Liam Cohen. But y'all keep it locked. It's 2 episodes a day, pretty much every day. During the season, we're going to be having a lot of weekend episodes as well for games, previews, reactions, recaps, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes 5 episodes a day, if we're lucky. I mean, you never know.
Sometimes he gets frisky.
I don't know if that's ever happened. I think 3. I don't know.
Sometimes he does the 24-hour streams where he like sleeps on camera. You can watch him sleep. Sometimes he does that.
Yeah, Jordan might clip up this show and make about 13 different videos from it.
That is actually something we haven't done.
But all right, guys. Yeah, and I'll be live for Saturday night, the Steelers game. I'll be doing live reactions, play-by-play. Lots of fun to kind of go on there and just talk a bunch of crap with you guys. Always fun to watch those games together. And yeah, we're right back in the swing of things. NFL season is, I guess the official regular season starts in about a month. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully the Jaguars can kind of meet us in the middle when it comes to actually winning some games and being in the hunt still in December. That's all we ask, right? Just stay at least 500 throughout the year so we can at least remain a little bit relevant. But all right, guys, appreciate everyone for being here. Also, if you guys haven't already, drop the like. Appreciate all you guys for joining and all the commenters and all the super chats. We appreciate you guys. Go Jags.